Well, it's true to say that there are some things that you will never understand about the Philippines. So if you're coming, you better get ready for that. And uh, how can I best explain that? I'm still finishing my little camping out kind of lunch. I'm going to have an orange and I'm going to cut that in a minute. And I've got my, let me see, my Energen drink. I'm not fooled by that marketing name, by the way, Energen, but it has oats, cereal mixed with milk, and probably a lot of sugar as well. So I'm actually going to cut the top off that. The Philippines, they love to have things in sachets. Now you can tell them all day long that it's much, much cheaper to buy something like this in a packet like that, but this may be, say, 7 or 10 pesos, and the packet obviously will be a lot more because you'll get 10 or 15 of these packets or 20, and the cost will not be 20 times 7 or 10. It will be much cheaper. But the thing is that we are in what I like to call, not like to call, but call a one-egg economy. And that's the fact is that you can go into a sari-sari store, those little roadside stores, which are almost the lifeblood in the Philippines, certainly in the where we are in the colonies. So in the province, I should say. I went all British talking about the colonies. But anyway, people cannot afford to go in and pay, say, 100 or 150 pesos to get this drink, even if it makes total sense economically. They can't do that. And even though it may make sense to buy eggs at 2 dozen a go, like an entire tray, which is what I bought when I went shopping the other day for groceries. I bought an entire tray, which is 2 dozen eggs. And that was 250 pesos. Well, for a family who are subsisting on a heck of a lot less than we would ever spend on groceries, have to think differently. So they can go down to the local sari-sari store and buy 3 eggs. And then it's no point in telling them, well, you're going to be buying another 3 tomorrow. It's today. It's a one-egg economy and a today economy. What can we get today? Tomorrow is another thing. So I've got my drink and I put it up there. So I'm prepared on my drink now, and I'm going to cut my orange. And I'm going to do this in a way that I learned from, let me see, can you see it? Yes, you can. I'm going to use a big knife and cut down the middle. And when I used to work at the Empire Leicester Square in London, in the UK, after I'd worked and played, then I was a musician and worked in a big band in the Empire Leicester Square. From time to time, usually once or twice a week, we'd be in the band that I was in. We would fill in with work at the Empire Leicester Square. Well, afterwards, we'd go out and have a Chinese meal. And after we'd eaten our meal, they would give us pieces that were cut like this. And so, are they easy to eat? They are. Get them on the corner, and pull them apart, and they're good to eat. So, ever since, that's how I have my orange. So, I cut, and I get my drink. Now, while we're on the knife thing, let me show. I bought another knife, beautiful knife, so sharp, I bought one exactly like this. I had to buy this one again, another. So why? This is one of the peculiarities, and I never quite, trying to be fair, I've never quite understood if it's that, you know, the kids that we have come and stayed from living in the mountains, and they'll come, they're our students that we support, and our unofficially adopted children. Well, we obviously they come, and very often they were the ones that do the cooking. Well, so they got my beautiful knife, and look what happened to it. I don't know whether you can you see this? If I hold it there, there's the, where are we? I'm trying to get you in the picture. Yeah, there's the knife. It's too close. Not only did they blunt the tip, but look what they did to the cutting edge. So I think what they were probably using it for whatever was needed at the time, which was probably chopping up a piece of wood. I've managed now to keep this one fairly good, but the other one, don't quite know what we use that one for, but probably the kids don't even notice that. If I said, what have you done to the knife? They would say, what do you mean? What's wrong with the knife? So, I'm going to put this down. And then I'll go and get my drink. So there we are, over by the drinking fountain. So this is another thing that I found as well, is that when Talik comes and she cooks for us, and it really is very nice. It's great. It's great that she cooks for us, and actually she's a pretty good cook. It's damn tasty. Now, what I find is that as she's cooking, I'll go over and say, she'll have far too much water into the pan for cooking noodles. And we're waiting and waiting. Of course, we're waiting a long time because there's so much water to boil, which she then throws away. So I said to her, you have too much water in there. She said, Daddy Terence, it's noodles. You need to have all the water in there. I said, but you're going to throw that water away, aren't you? And she said, well, yes, it's noodles. What do you know? So, what do I know about cooking noodles? Well, in my tough days in California, my son and I ate a lot of noodles. And they are a staple here, the same as rice. Yes, I know they're not the healthiest and they've got all kinds of stuff in them. Tell me a product that is preserved in any way that doesn't have a ton of stuff in it. It doesn't happen. So eventually I get on to the subject of the water. What is the water? I'm going to turn the camera around this way. Okay. Back again. Okay. So where did you get the water, Talik? And she said, well, from the faucet. Well, from the faucet comes from the well. But because she's going to cook, she doesn't think that she needs to go to the water fountain, which is purified water. So I say, why don't you get the water from the water fountain, right? The bottled water. Why? I said, the other thing is, are you boiling the water? She said, yes. I said, do you get cold water and boil it? Yes. He said, why don't you go to the water fountain and get the hot water which is hot enough to make tea and coffee, and then you won't have to wait as long, especially if you don't use so much water. No answer came to reply. So these things we find and we accept or go insane. I'll be back. Bye for now.